Yeah, so that's why I put razor blades in Snickers, because they get a sweet and salty treat, and they can also use it to shave their face when they come of age. So it's like it's a helpful treat. It's like a helpful treat.
You're that guy, huh?
It's a double treat.
It's a good thing the listeners and viewers of this podcast, and especially those at the FBI that already think we're terrorists, don't know your address, or it'd be not sending their children over here.
Well, you shouldn't send your children to my house anyway. I don't know. Number one,
razor blades or no razor blades.
I don't have any log cabinets. I don't have any. I haven't child-proofed the house, is what I'm saying. And you shouldn't be sending your fucking children to random men's houses. Just as a start. Parents of all those people that sent it to Michael Jackson's house. Hashtag anyway.
Are you sure you're a man today?
Am I, man?
I thought you were, switching it up.
Maybe. I don't know. It is the season of trickery and tomfoolery
Indeed
and chicanery. You want a trick or you want a trick? Whoa. No, not the treat I want.
But a trick and a treat.
It's a trick of a treat. Anyway, so Dane, I was thinking for today's episode, Culture Corner, Tribal Twitter. And it's not what you think. Stay tuned to find out.
That's right.
And in light of this festive season, you want to do like a holiday segment? And maybe for all of our late viewers that are going to see this after Halloween, we're going to give you some costume ideas.
Well, everybody's going to see it after Halloween.
All right, I'm aware that that's
okay. Sorry, I didn't know what Dave was going to do.
He doesn't play with me. He doesn't play with me very often. I'm forced to play with myself over here. Anywho, fun costume ideas for Halloween, post-Halloween. And then the main topic, Elon frees the Tweety bird.
If there's any cause for celebration, it is certainly that.
He saw a putty tat and he took advantage.
That's what, and we're all the beneficiaries.
Exactly. So you want to jump in?
I think we should. Welcome to Weapons of Meme Destruction Podcast, episode 118, which can be found at wmdpodcast.com/118. You can find it on any podcast app. Just search Weapons of Meme Destruction. You can get the videos on YouTube, Rumble, ODYSEE, and as of recently, FLOTE, which I believe is spelled FLOTE. And you can also link up with us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Just search Weapons of Meme Destruction or at WMD Podcast on any of those platforms. You'll be able to find us. You'll be able to see Greg with the little exploded head. Can't miss him. And link up with us. Start the conversation.
Not what you think, you sick bastards.
Join the conversation. And like, subscribe, share all of our content with all your friends, family, and loved ones, and help grow the sane space. David, today, this week, is a good week. It was a good week for Twitter.
This week was a good week.
It's a good week for finally a setback to cancel culture.
This week is the week we get to see loose women dress up like things that they say are other things, but they really look like slutty versions of them.
There's also that.
Fishnets. A lot of fishnets this weekend. Guys, have fun.
Listen, you know what? We just love seeing the ladies have fun.
We just want them to have as much fun as we have. Our misogynistic assholes experience. Like our toxic masculinity just wants you to be toxic for a night. Yeah. A night. Just try it out.
That's right.
Sometimes it's fun to be toxic.
Sometimes.
Britney Spears. Anywho.
So jumping into the culture corner for this week, and in addition to scantily clad women on Halloween, the thing that we are super excited about this week, as you may or may not have heard, is that the Elon purchase of Twitter finally went through. But before we get there in the main part of the show, we're going to talk to you a little bit about the lefties of Twitter that saw this coming down the road and anticipating it, decided to create their own little safe space to go to. Now, I know what you're going to say. Dane, over the last couple of years, the righties were doing this too with things like Parler and Trump's Truth Social and yada, yada, yada. And yes, we know that nowadays people seem more and more content, rather than talk to people they disagree with, to just go off into their little silos of everybody that agrees with them so they can just sit around agreeing with each other all day. We know that this is not a uniquely left characteristic. However, the choice of name that they decided to create for their left version Twitter type platform is, let's just say, that irony, it seems to be sorely lacking on the left. I know that comes as a shock to a lot of people because they're always so really well put together, tight, cogent thoughts and stuff over there on the left. But the name of their social network won't surprise many of you.
Feels like you're burying the lead so deep.
I was
It's deeper than all the skeletons that are going to be out this Halloween season. Make sure you get your costumes now. Anywho, Dane, what do they call this Twitter, this answer to the blasphemy of letting free speech be free? What are they calling this platform? Please.
They're calling it the Tribal Social Network, TRIBEL, as opposed to AL, social network.
Irony abounds.
And the reason why this is particularly hilarious, I mean, it's already obvious to you on the surface, but it's either ironic because they're completely oblivious to the concept of tribalism, or they're oblivious to the fact that when somebody or a group of people are accused of engaging in tribalism, that's not a compliment. This is not a good thing. When we talk about tribalism as part of like the kind of human experience, because, you go back to 10,000 BC, the reptilian brain that we all still have, there was a biological function for tribalism. It helped us survive. So it's not this, unique 21st century thing. But in the modern American political context, it's not a healthy thing for human interaction. And yet they just embrace it fully by calling their social network exactly that.
You want people that don't take responsibility for the thing that they said yesterday, which is completely different from the thing that they're saying today. You want them to have the foresight to know referring to a tribal mentality as being a bad thing in a industrialized, technologically advanced, critical thinking society? Dane, shame on you. Shame on you, Dane.
I know that, again, this whole concept of siloing oneself, and we say this all the time, if we siloed ourselves, well, and by ourselves, I mean me, because David absolutely refuses to participate in social media of virtually any form or fashion.
I censor myself nearly constantly.
If we chose to censor ourselves and not listen to the viewpoints that we disagree with, sometimes vehemently so, we would have no content for this podcast. So that's the first thing. But the second thing is, like, if you are willing to step outside of your silo and hear other people out, sometimes you might actually come to the realization that either A, what you had previously thought was not correct, or B, it actually might help you sharpen your point a little bit. Because when they attack something that you're like, oh, well, I still don't agree with them, but I see how my point was weak here. It's that whole concept of stone sharpens iron kind of thing.
Iron sharpens iron.
Whatever.
I get it. Yeah. Iron sharpens iron. Anyway,
iron sharpens iron. Anyway, so you by doing that, you can make your point even stronger. But if you just sit in this little hermetically sealed bubble of people that just agree with you all the time, it's analogous to sitting there and just being comfortable all day. Nobody wants to go to the gym and then be sore the next day, or have to, watch the carbs that they eat and all of that kind of stuff so that they can, look healthy and fit and strong and all that kind of stuff. They want to sit on the couch and be comfortable and be easy. That's what you're doing to yourself mentally and intellectually when you just surround yourself with people that agree with you all day.
Well, here's the thing, is that it doesn't take too long of a ruler to find your way over to what we do with cattle. What are cattle? They're basically an industrial food stuff. that we breed to be as big and as fat as possible. And then they aren't smart enough to figure out what the fuck's going on. And then one day, actually, they live a great life. They live a very comfortable life, gaining all the weight, eating all the bad stuff that's not supposed to be in their diet. And they just gain. Oh my goodness, look how fat I am. Look at my wonderful, fabulous 600-pound life. Anywho, and then one day they walk into a place and like, hey, is this where the food is today? I've never seen this place. Bam, he's gone. So to say that when you behave like a herd animal, when you behave like cattle, don't be surprised when you get treated like a herd animal, when you don't start thinking for yourself, when you don't start doing the hard things. In fact, I think one of the first things they teach in debate school, which I think I got a master in that program, which would make me a what, Dane?
A masturbator. Debater.
Thank you. Thank you, Dane. See, I softballed that in there for you.
You did.
Thank you. And you still flubbed your line, but I'll give you credit. I'll give you credit for you. In fact, the first thing...
It's late, okay? It's later than usual.
Yeah, I get it.
Long day.
The first thing they teach you about debating something is that you have to learn the other viewpoint. And you have to learn it so well, in fact, that you can counter or predict whatever their counters to your argument is going to be.
Or better yet, you have to be able to argue both sides. You have to be able to argue against your point.
Which makes you find the weak spots in your own argument. Or maybe it even changes your argument completely because that argument was flawed from the beginning and they could tear it apart. It makes you stronger to engage with dissenting viewpoints. That's all I'm saying. Which is, I mean, it's how we move forward. If you can't say no to anything, how the fuck can you ever find out if you're wrong or not?
But as we all know, when you argue with emotion and everything that you say and do is morally righteous and everybody else is an evil, terrible demon, then who really cares how strong your argument is? Because then you can just call them a name, shout them down, and pretend like they didn't say anything at all. But so Tribel Social Network does have a Twitter account because, just general good business development practices. They are setting up account on their competitor and trying to get people to come over there using the Elon purchase as an example. But I just screenshotted I screenshot 3 of their tweets from this week that just really kind of encapsulates their name says it all. They're acting tribalistic already. And the first tweet was from this week, October 25th, where they said, quote, "If you're a Twitter user who is worried about Putin asset Elon Musk buying Twitter and allowing insurrectionists, Trump and neo-Nazis back on Twitter, give our new pro-democracy Twitter alternative, Tribel Social, @TribalSocial, a try. Our app has a 5-star rating, and we ban racists for life." So, couple points about that tweet.
Wow.
That really shows you that the people behind this app are in an echo chamber within their tribe that they never venture out of. Calling Elon a Putin asset. Just a couple things off the top of my head that they've probably never even heard of, right? Elon challenged, comically or not, challenged Putin to a fist fight. That's the joke side of it. But generally, if you're doing that, you're probably not friendly with the guy. And on a more real-world practical application, he has been using Starlink to provide internet access to Ukrainians when the Russians knocked out the ability for Ukrainians to get access to the internet, which is critical not only for communication of the civilians, but also for the Ukrainian military to,
communicate,
talk with each other, act logistically, all of that kind of stuff. So that doesn't seem to be necessarily acting in Putin's interest. So to be completely so under a rock and not know anything about literally anything, and to suggest that Elon is a Putin asset is, it's hilarious for one, but it really just kind of shows you that they are truly living up to the name of their network. And then, the Trump insurrectionists and letting neo-Nazis back on Twitter. I will guarantee you that I can probably count on this hand, if I had two of my fingers knocked off by hammers, how many actual neo-Nazis exist in the United States or around the world. It's a vanishingly small number of people that still hold to that. But they'll have you that 50% of the entire U.S. population is neo-Nazis. And that, what happened on January 6th was an insurrection, all that kind of stuff. So again, platitudes and talking points from their tribe, no critical thinking need apply.
I mean, I'm a little upset with them because they used to be the creative side. They used to be the ones that would come up with great movies, great context. They own Hollywood. They own all these technologically advanced corporations and stuff. Like, they were the innovators. We got Facebook from probably the left. We got like great movies like The Matrix, like Fight Club, like from left-leaning people that wrote in a very creative, overly expansive thing. And now we're still getting a Russian Manchurian candidate is the reason why we lost our platform. Like, you said that about fucking Trump. You said that about everyone. Like, you said that about Tulsi. She's a fucking Hillary Clinton herself said she was a Russian asset. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, can you guys come up with anything? Or maybe blame the actual people that have emails from Russia on their fucking computer for being Russian assets. Oh, I don't fucking know. But more to my point, Dane, they aren't even trying anymore.
They don't have to.
Is my point.
And they're trying.
They're literally naming things what they are. I feel like tribal Twitter, yeah, of course. So all you're going to hear is the echo chamber again and again and again. And all we hear is that echo chambers are bad. They lead to bad ideas. I don't know. Maybe don't start your own echo chamber Twitter. But what I will say is, if this is what people are willing to swallow, I'm going to start a corporation tomorrow. I'm going to call it Umbrella Corporation. Okay. And then I'm going to say that we have vaccines for every disease known to man. We're going to call it the T virus vaccine. And if you are following me this far, I'm proud of you because you know what I'm talking about. And I feel like people will get it shot into their arm tomorrow. And that's the zombie apocalypse right there. Boom. You don't even have to really plan out like they had to be conniving. They had to figure out, they had to get like back. No, fuck it. I want to start a zombie apocalypse. Go get the shot. Or else you're a terrorist. Well, fuck, I'm not a terrorist. I'm not. Hey, make sure you get the other vaccine too that turns you into a super zombie. I mean, prevents COVID from spreading even more, but it won't. But you put it in your other arm. Sure, God damn it, brah. Like, it's the worst written movie ever, and we're living through it right now. It's like nobody cares anymore. Nobody critically thinks. They just go, this is right. That is what I want. I will order a number 5 with extra cheese. And I will go home and I'll watch the same fucking melodrama bullshit that I watch. It's either going to be a cop, it's either going to be a lawyer, or it's going to be a doctor, or it's going to be a firefighter. And I'm going to watch it for the hour that they shove it down my throat. And then I'm going to go to bed and do it all over again tomorrow. Wake up, guys.
So the next two that I'm gonna take them in succession because they were posted within 20 minutes of each other. But and I'll link to the article both in the description on these videos and also on the show notes page about the Libs of TikTok account. We've talked about them on the podcast before, but that is a Twitter account which basically, again, all the Libs of TikTok account does is take leftists that make their TikToks talking about giving kids hormones and chopping off their parts and, indoctrinating children in schools and all that kind of stuff and being very proud of it. And the Libs of TikTok takes those videos and shares them to the wider public audience. And so for that, they're terrible, evil, no good, very bad people for sharing leftists in their own words to a larger audience. But
you make us look bad, and that's not nice.
Anyway, so libs of TikTok tried to test this out with Tribel and tried to go over there and create an account. And within 20 minutes, they were banned. I forget. It's in the article, but so you'll see if I get this wrong. But I think like their first ever tweet over on Tribel was "Men can't get pregnant." That's all I said. Men can't get pregnant, and they got banned for it. So 20 minutes, Tribel kicked them out. Anyway, so these next two tweets from Tribel are in reference to banning the Libs of TikTok account from Tribel Network and then all of the other people that came along with it. So Tribel said this, quote, "Yes, our social network successfully fought off a wave of trolls that came over from the notoriously racist and homophobic Libs of TikTok account. Our algorithms identified their bigotry and suppressed their posts, just as intended. Retweet if you support our kinder Twitter alternative." And then the next tweet 20 minutes later. "To all the bigoted Trumpers, white supremacists, and homophobes who are livid that they are receiving lifetime bans from @Tribal Social, hatred is not free speech. If you want to spew your hateful vitriol unchecked, stay on Twitter. We don't tolerate it on Tribal Social." So
you know what that sounds like?
A lot of virtue over there.
Sounds
I
like
think they're on virtue overload, if you ask me.
Sounds like a second grade teacher offering you threats about your weekend that they have no control over whatsoever.
Yeah.
I feel like, what does free mean, Dane?
I mean, to do stuff.
Pretty much any stuff.
To do
Pretty
all
much
the
all the stuff.
To do
Like if
maximum
you
amounts
think
of
of stuff, you can do it. As long as it doesn't fuck with other people's stuff. Right? Is that the general? Your freedom stops at somebody else's freedom?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, cool. So free speech means any speech. Correct? If they won't delete somebody saying the earth is flat on YouTube, but they will more than willingly nuke somebody that says the COVID-19 vaccine is causing heart problems with male recipients age 18 to 30, they get nuked. What the fuck are we, what dystopian world are we living in right now? The one that they want. Or maybe they should come out and say, we're sore losers, so we're taking our ball and we're going over here, and we expect all of you to be with us. Because we were controlling Twitter. We were obviously controlling the narrative on there. We were getting rid of people that didn't agree with us there. And now somebody came in to relieve us of said control. And we don't like that. So we're going to go over to another place and create the control over there. Come on with us, won't you?
Yeah, I'm sure that this business venture / social media platform is going to be amazing.
Great success.
Everybody's going to be there.
My life.
Or, you know what? I venture to guess that the same group of people that were so outraged over 2016 that they were going to pick up and move to another country are now saying they're going to pick up and move to another platform since Elon took it over. I venture to say that those people generally don't have, just going off their actions, don't have the conviction of their principles to actually act on their threats, and they're all going to stay on Twitter. And it's been fun this week just watching all of the paint cheap eating blue checks on Twitter saying, oh, I'm going to go to Tribal and I'm this, that, and whatever. And then some are like, fuck Elon, I'm staying, blah, blah, blah.
Bye, have a beautiful time.
Again, yeah, nobody cares. Go. Just like you laughed and mocked and made fun of the people that wanted to go to Parler or Trump's Truth Social and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we're saying the exact same things about you. And like David is fond of saying, and as one of my favorite David quotes of all time, like dislikes like. You spend all this time making fun of Parler and making fun of Truth Social and saying, oh, look at those little righty snowflakes that got to go run off to their own social media site or whatever. Like, the things that you hate about them and mock about them the most are the things that you hate most about yourself. And if you're a third-party objective observer like us, who is pretty roundly hated by both the left and the right. We just can stand here in the middle and just laugh at both of you because it's hilarious.
It's great to be here, isn't it?
It is. It's cozy.
All right. Well, enough with this, dog eat dog world of applications and thinking that virtual reality is reality when we're kind of slipping further closer to virtual reality being more real than actual reality. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. Let's get into the fun topics.
Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
So for today's festive episode on the obvious Halloween theme, we are supplanting the
obvious. Can't you see all the hard work we put in?
the Epstein didn't kill himself segment with, we're going to go over, as the name suggests, we are weapons of meme destruction. So we're going to bring you some of our favorite memes using a template from these past couple weeks that are poking fun at people who more than anything in this world need to be poked fun at.
Warning, if you're audio only, you should take the time to go over to YouTube because we're going to post all the photos of what we're going to be discussing over there. But Dane will do his damn best to describe in graphic detail for all our audio only listeners. And I'll try to be reactive in the moment and as audio reactive as possible.
Because like you, David also can't see these. I have them on the computer here with me. But
so I'm right there with you guys.
David also can't see. So yeah, my description has to work for both you and him. But these are our top 12 of this meme template, and I'm going to explain it to you here in a second. These are our top 12 of this template, but feel free, go to our Twitter, at WMD Podcast, go to our Instagram, go to any place you can share content with us, and share us if you have seen some better versions of this meme. So what this meme template is, if everybody is familiar with the Spirit Halloween pop-up stores every Halloween, right? And you always get the costume and
They're so annoying.
You get the costume in the little plastic thing that says, oh, well, you are a knight. And what this includes is like a sword and yada, yada, yada. So
can I press pause right here for a second? Not to break you up.
Yes.
Not to break you up. We get the concept, but like how many times did like you envision yourself as like a little kid, like a 5-year-old? You're like, I'm going to get the Power Rangers uniform. I'm going to look just like him. It's going to be form-fitting. I'm going to get the boots.
And it never is, yeah.
And it's like, I'm going to get that sweet-ass helmet. And then you get this like plastic cutout that only covers your face and the whole back of your head's open. And you're like, your fucking uniform is like flopping in the fucking wind while you're walking. It's not form-fitting at all.
What do you expect? It's a $20
That's
costume.
what I'm saying. But when you're a kid, you don't understand shit like that. And it hurts your feelings. Anyway, that's all I'm saying is like...
So some enterprising young memer out there in the memeverse took a blank template of one of those packets where you have like the picture of the costume and then it says what it includes. And people have been putting things on that template and, creating costumes that don't exist, but they probably definitely should. And these are 12 of David and I's favorite from this past week. The first one we have, the costume is Ukraine energy specialist. And it is one of the pictures of Hunter Biden from his laptop.
Dane, for future's sake, can I guess who it is before you start?
Yes. Sorry.
Give me
that's a good idea.
Give me the costume, give me the idea, and then give me the description. I'm going to try to guess who it is. How about that? Okay. So dry run. This is the first one. We're going to describe the game, then we'll play it. Okay?
Yes. So Ukraine energy specialist. And most of you probably get the reference on that one. But the picture of the costume is one of Hunter Biden from his laptop leak. And it's him standing there in nothing but a banana hammock and some white Adidas shoes and like the red scarf and his dad's aviators on. And for just as the Spirit Halloween, it always says like what is included in the costume, and included in Ukraine energy specialist, it says shades, red scarf, underwear, and sneakers. Very simple. We started out with a simple one.
Basically a cock sock with a thong attached to it.
And by the way, for those of you just listening, again, this is why you want to come see the visual, because our our video guy has put this meme up
The
next
nameless
to
video
David
guy.
and I
All right.
as we discuss these. So you will get to see them
is it
if you
here?
watch the video.
I feel like Vanna White with no like white thing to touch. Is it where are you gonna put it? I don't know. Don't put it on my face.
And by the way, these are our top 12 for the week, but they're in no particular order. So we
Correct.
haven't ranked them. Like that's not number 1 or number 12. Okay.
Correct.
Next one. The costume is grifter.
Hmm.
And this includes an OD. Do you want to try to guess before I tell you what it includes?
No,
or
just
after?
grifter. I'm gonna need some. I'm gonna need.
Okay.
So like it's like if you're envisioning a game show, it'd be like if you can guess it off the top, you win the grand prize.
Yeah.
But if you need like lifelines,
So can you
then
guess
get-
what grifter is?
I know what a grifter is. I don't know. There's a lot of them out there. Gotta
Okay.
tell you right
Well,
now.
this particular grifter includes an OD green t-shirt, cargo pants, and sneakers. That doesn't narrow it down.
No, it certainly does not. Where can I get a point of reference? Can I get like a lifeline? Is this like
This individual has accumulated roughly $80 billion of U.S. taxpayer money over the last 7 or 8 months because reasons. He's not an American citizen, but he's getting American citizens' money because
Can I ask a question?
politicians think it's a good idea.
Can I ask a question?
What?
Is there a conflict that's bringing this?
There is.
Oh,
There is.
shit.
You're getting warmer.
Is he like in the kind of Asian but like European section? Is he over there?
Yes, I think Eurasian would be.
Is his country war
I think
torn
it's
right now?
technically Europe, though.
Okay, well, technically Europe. Okay, is he affiliated with Russia at all?
He is not.
Oh,
He is the opposite of affiliated with
but he's
Russia.
the opposite.
Well,
Okay,
we can't take too long with his guessing. We got 12 of
Okay.
these things to get through.
I'm gonna go with Jinping King.
Incorrect.
Damn, I don't even think he exists.
The grifter, as the video people have been able to see for this whole time while David
I feel like
struggles,
Vanna White.
is none other than Zelensky, the president of Ukraine.
Oh, shitballs anonymous.
You know his stupid little like army green T-shirt that he wears to everything.
he's a comedian, by the way.
Yeah, well, not a very good one, but
I don't know. Have you ever heard any of his hours? Any of his specials?
anyway, his stupid little green T-shirt and brown cargo pants. But yeah, as I said, he's been getting about $80 billion of U.S. money. So that's one hell of a grift. And
By the way,
he asks for more every day.
any grifter could be any politician or any person ever. Literally.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like,
for
you
sure.
didn't
That's
narrow
what
it
their-
down at
That's
all.
what their whole job
Okay.
description is. Okay. The next costume is PSYOP Fed. So PSYOP Federal Agent. You want to hear what it includes, or
I'm going to go ahead and assume this has to do with.
you're probably not going to guess this guy because
January
I don't know who
6th.
this guy is. Yes, it might actually be exactly that. So this costume includes Oakley sunglasses, Amazon Basic
Sharp.
Tee, LGBTQ plus ally shorts,
I like it all.
an earpiece, a water bottle, a dossier on terrorist homeschool moms.
Do we even have a name for this?
I don't- I have no
don't
idea
think
who this
there-
guy's
I have
name is.
no fucking
It's some
idea.
nameless, faceless spook from either the CIA or FBI.
That may or may not have been involved in changing
Yeah.
the course of other things.
Oh, yeah. Plus,
So,
this guy definitely diddles kids. For sure. Anyway, you want to hear
see
what that
episode
thing
117 to know how we truly feel about kid diddlers.
Yeah. And people like this.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I have no idea who this is. Who is this?
I have no idea who it is either, but
It's just
this,
it's just like one of those guys.
yeah, this
An
picture,
agitator, as they call it.
this picture was taken either at January 6th or at a similar, like, I don't know what the blue checks on Twitter would say was an
What the
insurrectionist
tribals would
event.
say. What the tribal Twitters would say.
Yeah. And there was a group of guys dressed all very similar to this guy, just kind of like standing around, looking suspect as shit.
Oh, like the so inconspicuously conspicuous people.
Yeah.
Like they fit in so much, but they look so alike that it's like, wait a second.
Yeah. And then
You're all wearing the same
he's
thing.
like, they're like walking up to like just general protesters and like, hey guys, want to go do some illegal shit? Like, No, I
Who
don't.
says that?
You jackass.
Hey, you guys want to go smoke some marijuana in my van and then have fellatio with women? Like, what the fuck did you just say?
So, yeah, this dweeb definitely CIA, FBI, Homeland Security, some sort of federal alphabet soup.
We're not saying
goofball.
anything. Don't nuke us.
Definitely worked for one of them and was at this event to definitely set people up and, entrap would-be insurrectionists, as the blue checks would say.
Love it.
All right. Next one. This one's almost a dead giveaway on the name.
It's hard to hide your insurrection.
The costume is 81 million vote winner.
Okay.
You know who this guy is?
I got an idea.
Who is it?
Can I get the next description, please?
What it includes?
Yeah.
Creepy old man mask,
Uh-oh.
business suit,
Oh, that's good.
briefcase with ballots,
Okay.
mail-in ballots for mules,
Oh, boy.
and then it does not include a basement hideout for primaries.
Oh.
Not included with the costume.
Does said person like to smell young women's hair?
Indeed, he does.
I'm going to go
And
ahead.
caress them, even though they
Does
give
he
him looks and body language
Does he
that
try to
says, "Get away
invite
from me,
dead
you
people
freak."
onto the stage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tries to shake invisible people's hands.
Yeah. He's trying
Trips.
to hug the Easter Bunny, and the Easter Bunny was like, "Fuck off!" Hey, whoa!
He trips going upstairs.
And then
Yeah.
but he's just got a stutter. That's
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
all is. Okay.
Yeah, he brags about when he was younger, he would hang his legs in a pool, and like the little bubbles would form on his little
Hairy legs.
blonde leg hairs, and like kids would come up and like brush it off. Yeah, he talked about that.
He did.
Yeah,
I wasn't aware of that.
yeah. Actually,
I think we all know who this
actually,
is right now.
actually,
by the way.
the Ukraine energy specialist has this gentleman in his phone as Pedo Pete. As a matter of fact,
Are you fucking serious?
that in
Is that
the
a ser-
Ukraine energy specialist phone, that's what this guy's contact name is. So, and funny story, true too.
It's a good thing we haven't said his name yet, because
His now adult daughter had a diary that got
that's
leaked.
weird that you say it that way. His now
Well,
adult daughter.
it's important that I say it that way because her diary recently was leaked.
Daddy came into my room last night and breathed on my neck very quietly.
in which she talked about inappropriate showers and touching with her father. So, anyway, would you like to take a guess on who this is? David.
The more you know. Brought to you by Weapons of Mass Destruction. I'm going to go ahead and say Biden, and that was the darkest thing I've ever heard on this podcast.
Hey, listen, you know what? He got 81 million votes, and he's the leader of the free world, so show some respect.
Holy fuck.
All right. Well,
And I can't tell pedophiles
to not
deal with themselves.
to unalive themselves.
Yes, to remove themselves from the...
Yeah, no, that'll get you
Darwinian circle.
that'll get you banned. Might get you 81 million votes, but it'll get you banned. Anywho, next one.
I didn't say fuck them. I just said remove you. Do the opposite.
No,
If that doesn't get me more votes than 81 million, I don't know what we're doing.
Listen,
Anyway.
whatever.
Holy
Okay,
cow.
so the next costume is pretty self-explanatory. I can't help you with anything with this because the name is just in it. The next costume is called Ukraine. So now, since you know what it is, guess what the costume is.
Facebook page?
No, you'll never get this. So I might as well just tell you.
This isn't the fun one.
All right, so this hey, I thought it was good. All right, so what this
For
this costume includes $80 billion, a uniparty support, and flag in your bio. And what the costume is of a guy with he's dressed up as a dryer laundry machine, and there's money inside, right? Because the 80 billion going to Ukraine is being laundered. So, it's funnier when you watch the video because it's right here and you're like, oh, I get it. It's all right. All right, maybe it should have been top 11. Whatever. That wasn't our best work. All right, this one.
All right,
you're
this one's gonna light
This
it up.
one you're
Let
gonna
me
like.
tell
Okay.
you what.
Next on the list, vaccine expert. Care to take any guesses?
Oh my God. I've got so many. Can I get a description, please?
You want me to tell you what it comes with? Yeah, okay, I'll tell you what it comes with.
Please.
You just tell me when you've already got it. The first one
I'll buzz in.
The first thing that it comes with is a desire for depopulation.
Can I buzz in right now?
Yeah.
Is it Bill Gates?
It is.
Hey, look at me go. Holy shit, he's only been saying it for 20 years.
You want to hear what the next thing it comes
Please.
with?
A green sweater.
Trips to Epstein's island.
Oh.
Hey, gotcha.
Whoa.
And then it does not include
Green
science
sweater and
or a science or medical degree. It doesn't include that.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah. But he's an
he
expert.
didn't go to college.
He's an expert. Definitely not canceled.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
got a science degree.
Next one.
That's what they call it, right? A science degree.
A science degree.
Yeah, exactly.
The
science.
Next one, you're not going to get her name because I also don't know her name, but
Jen Psaki.
you will definitely know the picture that everybody can see. The next one is called Triggered Liberal.
Oh, it's the bitch that was screaming no.
No, you're close,
Damn
but
it.
no, it's not. It's not.
Son of a bitch. I'm going to go ahead and say multicolored hair, though.
No.
Damn it.
She does have a short haircut. She's got the glasses, and she's like screaming at somebody like that with the really wide eyes.
She's got neck veins.
Yes.
That was my third guess.
Yeah.
God damn it. Can I get a third of the prize money?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
So what this costume includes is assorted pronouns, a useless degree, disappointed parents, a race card, a sexist card, and a fascist card. It also includes hurt feelings and avoidance of reality.
That seems to check all the boxes.
Sticking with that theme, the next costume we have is Lib of TikTok. Again, not going to get a name on this one. I have no idea who this person is.
We'll just play with this one. Go ahead, tell us what it comes with.
I'm going to have to really describe this one for the audio-only listeners, but I'll tell you what it comes with first. It comes with pronouns. It comes with several piercings.
Of course.
Comes with a personality disorder. And it comes with fluorescent hair.
Damn it.
Now, this is of what I'm doing my best to, and I'm probably going to misgender her, looks like a female.
1,000 apologies.
But she has like remember like the old like Brazilian Ronaldo haircut that just left the hair up front? So she's got that. She's completely shaved bald back here. She's got that. It's bright pink or maybe purple. And then she's got a nose piercing and just generally looks unwell.
Generally looks like somebody just started firing nails at her fucking forehead and just saw where it found a home.
Yeah. Looks unwell. She should probably get help. Anyway, that's a little bit of TikTok costume. All right, the next one. The name is right in it, so I'm sorry, but actually, you know what? I'll skip the name of the costume.
Give me the description. Let me try to guess the name.
I'll give you the undertitle.
You're on your toes. I like it.
I'll give you the
undertitle.
Okay. Stop me when you know it.
Gotcha.
First one. Become the most hated man in the world.
Okay. That's debatable, but let's keep moving.
Okay. This one might give it away. Owe trillions instantly.
Putin?
No.
Damn it.
Last one.
Oh, Alex Jones. There we go.
Yep.
Got it.
This costume is Alex Jones. The last one is predict the future and warn humanity of global government. That would have really been away. And this one has a little bonus down here at the bottom.
They should have said, tell everybody they're turning the fucking frogs gay.
Well, yeah. That
completely, one. Or they should have just said complete with a gay frog.
Yes.
And he should have just been holding the gay frog. Shit.
So actually in his picture, he is holding an AR, and in the bottom it says AR not included.
Oh, shit.
That's the one part of the costume I wanted.
There's a caveat.
All right, the next one. The name of the costume is, it's going to give it away, Dementia Patient. Any guesses?
Biden.
All right, so what does it include? It includes a diaper, stain-proof slacks, and an oversized shirt, an ice cream cone, and money for Ukraine.
Whoa. Gotta have that last one in there.
This one is a really good one. You will know the person, but not based on the name or the description. But I'm still going to tell you anyway.
Okay.
So the name of the costume is Drapes. And what it includes is upholstery fabric. Oh, and this one might give it away. And it does not include a fake doctor degree. You got to be like really with it in the headlines to know how that gives it away. A fake doctor degree. All right.
Got nothing.
So it is Jill Biden.
Jill Biden.
Yeah. Because if you'll remember, when shortly after Biden was elected, there was this thing that was all a buzz for like a week. I forget what her degree is in, but it's a doctorate.
Was it an honorary doctorate?
No, I think it was actually a doctorate. It's like a doctorate of teaching, something like that.
Okay.
So she was demanding, or somebody demanded on her behalf, I forget which one it is, but that she be called Dr. Jill Biden. And so everybody was making fun of her because it's like, you don't get to call yourself Dr. Jill Biden for a doctorate in education. Like,
if you have to tell people that you are a doctor, probably not a doctor.
So the reason why the name of the costume is Drapes is, as you can see here,
she was dressed in a drape. You're right.
All of her clothes looks like you just pulled them off of a window and like sewed them into a dress, and that's what she's wearing. Like this
unnamed video person, look this up. It reminds me of Garden State when Zach Braff goes home and one of his aunts makes a shirt out of the extra like upholstery. And he goes, you need to try it on. It looks marvelous. And the next scene is just him like with the shirt on with the upholstery behind him, and he's just like blending in. He's just like,
well,
that's what I think of.
Jill apparently saw that show, and
she's like, I like that look. Let's go with it.
That's where she's
got. We call it the urban camo look.
Yeah. All right, and the last one, number 12. You might guess it just on the name of the costume. The name of the costume is Cuck. Yes.
Description. I need to make sure I'm going to hit it.
Well, it actually doesn't give you a whole lot of help. All the costume says is what it does not include, and what it does not include is strength.
A pair of testicles.
Yeah, well, same thing. Strength.
Oh my God, that could be like so many.
Yeah,
so many.
But who is the? I'll give you a hint. It's a world leader, not a world leader, but a leader of a country.
Okay,
and he fashions himself. He pretends he's a world leader. And just think of all of the people that you hear in the headlines frequently, who is the cuckiest of them all? Like, who gives off the cuckiest vibes?
Jesus. I mean, I'm trying to work with your explanation, but it's not really.
I mean, he's just the most unimpressive. I mean, in every single way.
He's a leader of a country, not a state.
Entire country.
Not a
millions of people within a certain geographic area decided that he should be their leader.
I know who it is.
Who's that?
Does he have any affiliations, true or untrue, with Cuba?
Oh, he does.
A former leader of Cuba.
Oh yeah, he's a frequent theme on this show.
It's my main man, Comrade Trudeau.
That's right.
I got it. He loves maple syrup and communism. All right.
Canadian Castro.
Canadian Castro.
So I just love the picture that they chose for this costume. Because it's one
wherever the picture is,
one of the most feminine poses that he could possibly give.
If you're any good at video editing, like I hope that he's following my hand wherever I go like that.
But yeah, that's Castro for you.
Oh
yeah.
My God,
big tough guy when he's got the police and military doing his bidding. But if you think that guy would do anything,
he's good
to enforce what he wants to have done.
He's good when they're calling the plays from up top. Well, when he has to make audibles, it's not so good. Like when he called the truckers that were standing up for their civil liberty, and he called them racists and fascists and all that good stuff. And then they just kept doing it. And he's like, "Well, that was the only round I had in this particular chamber, so I don't know what to do now." So anyway, yeah, he's very cucky. I appreciate that, but goddamn, great head of hair and some piercing blue eyes. Wonder where I got him from.
Just shows to go, yeah. Politics is not a measure of competence. It's a popularity contest. It really is a high school popularity contest on a massive scale that just so happens to also be attached on the back end, a monopoly on violence. So,
Hey, Dane, this was the happy segment of our entire fucking...
We're on our way out of it. We're back into...
we're leading you back into the doldrums. Like, you ready to be depressed? Here we go.
I take exception to that, sir.
Okay.
Because
accept it all you want.
The last and the main part of the show is, and as often happens, the main being the last segment, obviously often gets truncated because we're a little long-winded on the other ones. But it's a happy occasion.
Let's not bicker and argue about who killed who.
Well, I'll tell you, Elon metaphorically killed quite a few people's hopes and dreams this week because as of, I want to say, October 27th, 2020.
That's my grandma's birthday.
Mr. Musk closed the deal on the purchase of Twitter. And the fallout was immediate.
They've been on dates. They've been hitting it off, but she wasn't texting so much for a while. And then all of a sudden, she texted back one night, hey, what you up to? And then all of a sudden, they went out to an impromptu date and realized that they had been foregoing themselves what subtle vagaries of lust might give them. And then all of a sudden, they went home and made a freedom baby.
Well,
good for them.
In true Elon fashion, he did it in trolling Elon form. When he walked into Twitter headquarters, you may have seen the headlines of this, he was carrying a sink with him. And the whole point was he was at Twitter now. Let that sink in.
Oh.
The guy's highbrow. He's not one of us.
He realizes moments before they're even moments. And he's got it all set up.
He's a funny guy. Anyway, so as we alluded to in the Culture Corner segment of this episode, the Twitter blue checks are all in a tizzy. They are losing their shit. And I got to say, personally, right? We said in that segment, and you already know this probably from a lot of the material we cover on this podcast, is that with the WMD Twitter account, we follow a lot of blue checks, especially people that we vehemently disagree with, both on the left and the right. But I got to say, the ones on the left that are losing their mind, you got a snippet of that from the people behind the Tribal social network. The amount of outrage, the hyperbole, and the things that they're saying about what Twitter is going to become under Elon's leadership and all that kind of stuff, just the total sheer amount and quality of the tears that are being shed over this all over social media is worth $44 billion. So for that, Elon, we thank you.
You know what's fucked up about the situation?
What?
Is that they're afraid that Elon Musk is going to make Twitter into the thing that Twitter already was. Let that sink in. They're worried.
Nice.
They're worried. They're worried that he's going to take control of it and allow people to say things that they want to say. You mean the thing that Twitter was invented for? You mean the whole point of social media? No, we can't allow that. What if somebody says something that's mean or hurtful? Like, if you're unvaccinated, we don't care what happens to you. You should go fucking die. I should be allowed to say that, shouldn't I? I should be allowed to say that maybe the age of consent isn't necessarily 18. Maybe it should be a little bit lower. Maybe we should make a movie.
Which, by the way, for the people that are going to soundbite that and the people that are going to out of context that, what we're pointing out is all of the things that people do say that are abhorrent and are allowed to stay on that platform. But if you say the opposite, like maybe people should have the freedom of what they put in their body, or maybe we shouldn't be feeding hormones and chopping the parts off of children or objectifying them in some way that seems acceptable to, people that would make movies about it, as we talked about last week, all of that kind of stuff. That's allowed on there, but not to say that those things are bad. Sorry, David. I just had to step in there because I know that's going to get sound bit. I can see it in the future.
He's my lawyer.
I could see it in the future.
He's our lawyer.
They're going to say, oh my God, they wanted, blah, blah, blah. No, we're saying that those are the things that's allowed on there. That's terrible. Anyway, David, back to you.
I think they could have deduced that.
I know they could have, but that's not the point.
I understand.
The evildoers don't allow you to do that.
The tribal ones?
David, you ever heard of the old saying, if you're explaining, you're losing?
What were you
That's exactly what they want to... No, I know. I'm doing it now.
You're losing right there. Right, 2 seconds ago.
So we don't have to do it in 10 years. In 10 years, I'm just going to say, refer back to the same episode.
Is that they're terrified that the other side is going to do to them what they've been doing to the other side.
Yes.
They are losing control of a platform, so they're saying, I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. If you want to play more basketball, you have to come to my home, and it's totally cool. We have like pizza rolls, and like we all use all the pronouns that you want us to use, and it's going to be totally great. It's going to be totally great. But they don't realize that they're the worst person on their team, that the only reason they really invited this person is because they had the ball, so we had to play with them. So they didn't realize they're the last one picked, and yada, yada. They weren't aware of themselves, hence them creating tribal Twitter. Kind of on the nose, isn't it? And again, they don't care to take heed of their own words because they never take responsibility for them. They just keep moving the goalpost every day. So again, it's hard to take these people seriously that don't care to take things seriously. They just make things up, and then they make it up, and then they make it up, and then they make up that you're making things up, and then they make it up.
Which by the way, if that's what you want to do, awesome, go for it. No harm, no foul, because the freedom to associate is also has a corollary of the freedom to disassociate. So you can hang out with all of the people that you like and agree with, and if that's the only people you want to hang out with, cool. You're able to do that. And in so doing, what are you also doing? You are disassociating with those people that you don't like and you disagree with. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That also doesn't mean that on WMD podcasts and other places, we can't also make fun of you for that and for being a soft little snowflake and having to go run away to your own safe space or whatever. And before, the tribal social kind of lefty sort of crowd starts saying, oh yeah, well, that's exactly what they did with Parler and Truth Social and all of that kind of stuff. It's a bit of a category difference when the people that went to go do those things, and again, not defending one way or the other, but just making an objective, factual observation, that the impetus behind those other, what we'll call nominally conservative platforms, right, that had to go away from Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that, is because the people that previously ran Twitter and the people that previously ran all of these social media companies were very ideologically homogeneous, and they were forcing out those right of center voices. They were canceling them. They were deplatforming them, and they were cheering the whole time they were doing it. So don't try to tell us that they weren't. So the Truth Social's Parler people of the world were like, well, we've been kicked off of the main platforms. We're going to go make our own. That's subtly different than the tribal social group who says, well, I'm just upset that Elon took over and now we don't have our hegemony over all social media sites. And so now we're going to go make our own. A little bit different motivations there. But again, understand that the same rationale is the same. You're still running away and to join your own group and not talk to anybody else. But for those of us that are, I'm not even going to say we're in the middle as if to like put us in the middle of the political spectrum or anything like that, because libertarians are a whole different bird, let alone of a different feather. For those of us in the middle of watching all of this go around, we're like, you guys are losers. Like, Twitter isn't going to become this terrible civilization ending thing. If anything, it's going to at least take a step forward in terms of helping us come and sit back down at a table, not get offended or get fake offended at every little thing, and actually start to talk to each other again. Maybe I'm naive and delusional for thinking that that's possible at this point, but I would like to think it. And I think that based on the way Elon has talked about the way he wants to run Twitter, that's the direction that it's going to go. And for that, 3 cheers.
Well, and then let's also not let it fall on deaf ears that those people that were running Twitter so well, come to find out they weren't running it at all. Because they didn't even have, 2010? I think their security measures and protocols were like outdated to the point that it was to the 2010 standards, maybe 2012, 2014 max. Like they weren't doing anything to protect anything. And nowadays, at least. And on top of that, they couldn't even tell you how many bots they had and how many actual users they had, which I don't know, Dane. If you have people, if you're running a grocery store and you can't tell me how many actual people walked into your grocery store and how many fucking fake door opens you had, you're not running that grocery store very well now, are you?
No.
And if you can't control your basic product, which is human traffic on a social media platform that takes humans to interact with it, what are you really doing? Like, again, everyone refers to Twitter as the cesspool of social media. And there's a reason for it. Because it's just a fucking war. You could post that you got a coffee. Let's just say you got a coffee from an off-brand coffee store, saying I'm supporting my local businesses. Like, well, did you know that local business gets its beans from this place, which is also known for insider slave trading? Did you know that? And then all of a sudden somebody else...
Insider slave trading. That is how these people talk.
I'm saying, I've seen it once, and I was like, oh, that's a whole wave of shit that I can't be bothered with. So you can't post anything. You can just say, hey, it was a beautiful sun. It's like, did you know the sun's going to explode in like 10 years and vaporize everything in our solar system? So maybe the sun's racist because it's going to vaporize black people. Did you know that? Like, you can't do anything on Twitter without just a conundrum of follies and arguments and so on and so forth. So the people that were running it were clearly not running it appropriately. They couldn't give them the right diagnostics, which is what led to...
almost nuked the deal.
He tried to buy it months ago, right? When was it? June, July, sometime in the summer?
Yeah, when it happened.
He said, I'm walking away from this deal because you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You can't even give me a basic layout of how you're running it or what you're running it with or what your basic numbers are or what your income is or what your just basic business running stratums. They couldn't answer any of his questions. So he backed out. And they said, oh, Elon backed out. He was scared. Well, apparently he wasn't, because he came back and bought it. After, an investigation and heads rolling and this, that, and the other, he's acquired it now. So it took all that theatrics to acquire something that was broken from the beginning, just to kind of flex his muscles and say, hey, here comes free speech again. Let's see it. And you doth protest too loudly if you have a problem with him saying, I want free speech to be free again. That was the whole thing that he was saying the entire time he was trying to buy it. It's like, I want there to be free speech again. And now you got to go create your own platform.
Yeah, and I mean, on that free speech point, before I, make the last point that I wanted to say about this was like, these Twitter blue checks that are just...
laughable? Fraudulent?
The level of not only stupidity, but arrogant stupidity. When they start to get into this discussion about free speech, and when, oh yeah, but free speech is only not to be prosecuted by the government, not a private platform, whatever. Well, where are you now? It's a private platform. Elon can do whatever he wants with it. Where are you now? talking about your nuance between free speech, protection from government versus private. Like, first of all, everybody knows that. So shut up. You're not the first person that ever stumbled upon this argument. But second of all, his point is that he's going to open the window a little bit wider, and you're going to say that, oh, well, that just means he's going to let white supremacists and racists and bigots and everything back on. Well, pardon the rest of us suffering from severe boy who cried wolf syndrome, because you people call everything that disagrees. If you say the marginal tax rate should be 15.6%, and I say, I think it should be 15.4%, and you call me a bigot or a racist or some other kind, that's how broadly you use those terms. So when you try to say he's going to let racists and bigots and everything back, again, I can't take anything you say seriously about the level or quality of the speech that he is or isn't going to allow on the platform, because you can't even take your own self seriously to stick to the actual meaning of words and use them precisely instead of just being outraged and trying to shut down conversation on anything.
But they change the meaning of words all the time.
That's the point. That's what I'm trying to say.
Words don't matter to them. We are not in a recession, despite the fact that we are actually in a recession. They just say, no, that's not the total thing. So if you don't hold yourself accountable to the literal definition that we've all agreed on for the past couple of years, how can we take you seriously on anything else? I'm sorry, I didn't interject. Go ahead.
No, I know. I mean, the last thing I was going to say, though, is like, and again, this is tacking back onto that point of Tribel where they call Elon a Putin. What do they call him?
Fucking probably Putin. A Putin asset. Like
a Putin asset. That's
if
exactly
you ever hear that someone's connected with Russia and they're in terrorism, just go ahead and know. Track back to when I'm saying that their side isn't even being creative anymore. That's just their thing. When Hillary Clinton had a problem with Tulsi, she called her a fucking Russian asset.
Yeah.
When they lost the election to Donald Trump, they said Russia was involved. But
anyway,
be creative.
The point we were making about that is you have to either be living under a rock or you have to be so hopelessly ingrained into your tribe's circle jerk that you don't hear anything outside of it to be able to make that statement. Very similar here is that I saw a tweet and it's going to be is going to have it up right here. Oh, dang it, I named him. Now he's going to be all happy and stuff.
Fuck! Anyway, edit it out!
We don't you. Yeah.
Person that shouldn't be named.
Edit it out or you're fired.
Or you're fired.
No, so I'm going to put it up right here. A tweet from Elon this week where he says, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have it off top of head, but you'll see it right here, is he paraphrased something to the effect of saying that he's going to put together a board at Twitter now of people from what he said is going to be diverse backgrounds. And this board is going to make the decisions transparently as to what the scope of speech allowed on Twitter is. Because Elon has said many times that that speech should be free, but it should be within the bounds of the law and all that kind of stuff, which, again, leaving it up to politicians to kind of dictate what the scope of speech is, I'm not altogether comfortable with. So I probably even disagree with Elon a little bit on what he thinks the speech is going to be allowed. But anyway, it's his platform. He can decide whatever he wants. And I think it's going to be a substantial improvement over the current ding-dongs that were running it that he's fired. Ding-dongs. But the point is that the tribal social group probably have no idea that that's Elon's plan. In their mind, they have just decided that basically Elon is going to go around to the 5 remaining members of the KKK and a couple, skinheads and maybe, get some other racists from some other groups, all white, by the way, I'm sure they think. And that's who is going to be making all of the speech decisions, and that every other word on there is going to be the N-word or some transphobic thing or whatever. That's what they think Elon is going to do. When he said on Twitter just this week, yeah, I'm going to put a board together of people from as diverse range of group as I possibly can, and the scope of speech on Twitter is going to be determined by that board, and nothing, no rules are going to be implemented at Twitter unless that board approves it. Now, we don't know if a single objector on the board means that the rule's not made, or if it needs to be unanimous, or needs to be 51% or whatever. That's all going to come later. But the point is, he's told you how he plans to govern speech at Twitter, and it's not going to be an anything goes kind of situation, but you don't care, or you just don't know because you're already in your tribe. But you're going to continue to call him an asset and a white supremacist and a racist and a bigot and all of the other scare words to try to shut him down. But anybody with 2 brain cells left to rub together and is actually paying attention or listening to what the guy has to say about what his plans are knows that you're full of shit, which is why I think that your attempts at your own little digital safe space are going to fail, because other than the 15 of you that are going to go over there because your feelings get hurt by words on a screen, the rest of us are going to be like, this is actually much, much better. The bots are all gone. You know, we're actually having conversations about real topics and not canceling each other over words, you know. So anyway, I implore you to employ the wait and see strategy and see if it's as scary as you think it is. Me thinks it's probably not going to be.
Well, I guess my bottom line is going to be, then go. If you guys think that you have a better system, if you guys think that you can run this, let's call it what it is. This is an argument over an application on your phone, but the grander scales is an argument about how we should run this country. And the whole point being is, if you think you can do it better, then go. Do it better. Which brings us back to what we talked about on a couple of episodes, secession. We've talked about divorcing your government. We've talked about a bunch of things, but it's not really our government or us divorcing our government. It's the government divorcing us. They're saying, like, you have to do it this way. It's like, we don't agree. We're the majority and we're not going to do it. And you say, well, you have to do it because it's the right thing to do. It's like, we don't agree. Go ahead. You go do it yourself. See how it works. Hey, Chaz, it's going to be the summer of love. They're going to create what Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone is what Chaz stood for. And they were going to do it better than, they were going to create a civilization in the middle of Portland that has never been seen before, because they had all the answers. 2 weeks? 2 weeks?
I don't even know if it lasted that long. I'm pretty sure there were murders within a couple of days. 7
and 2 weeks. From what I remember that they segregated the population, that people that were on the outside weren't allowed in. What does that sound like? That sounds like the same thing that they accused the Republican
social network is going to be.
It sounds like the same thing they accused Trump of saying, not letting people into the borders. He's keeping kids in cages. It sounds very similar to that. So it's like, okay, if you guys think you can run it better, and you guys think you have a utopian idea, and you think communism or socialism is the greatest thing ever, it just hasn't been done right, then go. Go. We will be driving this car. You can throw your hissy fit in the back seat. We're going to keep driving forward. And when you decide that you've shit your pants too much and you need to be changed and you want to come back to the rest of this family to keep moving forward in this car, we'll let you back with open arms. But
he might. David's a little more magnanimous than I am.
But I'm willing to let you learn your own solutions by yourself. Dane he's a little less forgiving. But anywho, all I'm saying is just go. Go to Tribel. See how it works out. See if it's competing with Twitter in 6 months. I'll give you 6 months. If it's still
6 days.
If it's still viable in 6 months, fine. Enjoy. But how's Brian Seltzer doing?
I think we should set up an account over there.
I think we should too. Hey guys.
You want to do it?
We'll just call it the open hand.
A test run like Live the TikTok.
Yeah,
see if we can break their record and get banned faster than 20 minutes.
What do you guys think about socialism? Is taxation theft? Do you want to be strong, or do you want to just not?
I think we should try to break Live the TikTok's record. 20 minutes.
Good luck. Okay, so we're aiming for 21.
No, we're trying to get banned quicker.
Oh, I thought we were trying to outlast
No,
them.
we're trying to get banned.
But are we
quicker.
posting things every minute like they did, or are we just?
Oh, I don't know if they did every minute, but
Well, we'll have to make it an even playing field.
And we can't
Look
go
it
over
up.
the top.
I like this though. I like this.
We got to do it like they did, where you just say something unobjectionable, like men can't get pregnant. We're just going to say
men
stuff
are
like
born
that.
without uteruses.
Yeah, we could say taxation is theft, or we could say government is institutionalized violence, and that kind of stuff. So
things that are true and
Yeah.
inarguable. But what do we know? We're just two dumb podcasters. One of us dumber than the other. Let you decide. Anyway, Dane, where can they find this episode?
you can get this episode at wmdpodcast.com/118. That's the focal point for everything, because who knows when we're going to get banned off of something. So go over there, look at the homepage, join the email list, because if we ever get nuked off everything, we'll always have that email list. We'll be able to reach back out to you and tell you which platform we're going to pop up on next. But you can also get the audio only, which we encourage, this one in particular. Every once in a while we say this because there's a lot more visual component to some than others. But you can get the audio only on any podcast app. Just search Weapons of Meme Destruction. And then you can get the video on Rumble, YouTube, ODYSEE, and FLOTE. That's where you'll be able to see all those hilarious Halloween costumes and Elon tweets and stuff like that. So check us out on all those. In the description, you'll see the same thing you'll see on the show notes page at the website in terms of articles we talked about, pictures, links, all that kind of stuff. And then you can also link up with us on our other socials on Twitter. We're not going to Tribel. Well, I mean, for the experiment, but we're going to stay on Twitter. You can find us on Twitter at WMD Podcast. You can find us on TikTok, and you can find us on Instagram. So with that being said, 119, we'll get back to the doldrums again that you know and love us for. But try to keep the end of the world light. If we're going out with a laugh. So
A laugh and a lot of firepower. But
Right.
but hope everybody had a safe and happy Halloween. Thank you again for your constant support. And until then, stay safe. And more importantly, guys, stay free.